Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Sean Huggins and this is Europe with Hugs. On this channel, myself, an American, is looking to learn about life in Europe by reacting to videos about Europe. So today's video, this is, what do Europeans really think of Americans? Ooh, and I can already hear the comments. This is referring to the United States of America when they say Americans. I know that some people, they get confused because what do you think of Americans? Well, that's two continents. What could you possibly mean by Americans? This is people from the United States of America, just so you guys know. So what do Europeans really think of Americans? I'm curious. I'm going to suspect not a lot of good stuff, if I had to guess, but we'll see. As always, though, before we start, if you enjoy, consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated. And besides, you don't want to miss any videos anyways. So, like I said, if you enjoy, consider subscribing. Thank you in advance. But let's waste no more time. Let's get into it.
What are your impressions of America right now?
So this kind of like consumerist way, I didn't really like it, to be honest. Like I didn't see humbleness in it.
My impression is that the country is pretty divided.
Maybe like
True.
very polarized country.
True.
Pulling in so many different directions. Each one
True.
of them is getting more and more radical, it seems like.
What you sold us in movies and on other media is not what real America is, what real US is.
Yeah.
I think the news are just so negative that it's easy to forget that it's also, in many ways, it seems to me, a great country.
Yeah.
What do Europe...
Yeah, social media and the news paint a very extreme picture of America, and then once you are actually living in America and experiencing America, it's not quite always what it seems on the internet or what you see in the headlines, so it is quite a bit different, but at any rate, let's continue.
European people think of Americans? Keep watching this video to find out.
Oh my god. That was the video I've ever heard in my life. Norway. Ooh, okay.
I think like to all
Oh, now it's so quiet.
Europeans have kind of like gotten kind of like a superiority complex towards Americans. Like
Okay.
I think a lot of
Interesting.
Europeans are like, there's just so much stuff and so many people in America who just seem so like out of it. Like it's just so many weird ways
What
of thinking.
the frick? Is she reading my comment section?
But I think I don't think it's true that Europeans aren't that way. It just seems that there are more Americans who just can make themselves believe anything. And I think also like the politics in America,
yeah.
a lot of Europeans, especially Norwegians, we have kind of like a belief system which in many ways clashes with the American belief system, like with healthcare and a lot of that like individuality and capitalist system, and like in Norway
Abortion,
we're more kind of
maybe?
and abortion.
Well, we have kind of two main parties, two main ways of thinking in America when it comes to politics. You got a little bit more of a European way where it's like, yeah, universal healthcare, that would be great to have. Maybe maternity leave or more maternity leave, that would be good to have. Maybe a living wage, a livable minimum wage, that would be good to have. Maybe more workers' rights, that would be good to have. And we have a lot of European ways of thinking about that kind of stuff. And then we have, the complete opposite. And nowadays, that is, if this side is 49%, this side is 51%. So there's still a lot of very huge chunk of America that's this side where it's like, oh, we can have it a different way, and it would be maybe a better way of doing things. But this side is like 51%. So this side keeps things the way that they are. So, that's politics though, right?
The intense like freedom, everybody does their own thing. I will not be limited by like gun laws and whatever. Like in Norway we're kind of like more of a we have more of a socialist foundation, so I think it's easy for Norwegians to kind of look down on Americans.
I think I gotta go to Norway.
being
see
like,
what's up with
very
Norway.
stupid. But I don't think it's true that all Americans, obviously, not all Americans are like that. And it seems like there's a lot of differences between the states. But I don't know. It's just it's a very different belief
Definitely.
system, I think.
Funny story, I was just in America for 6 months this spring. I was an exchange student there in California. I've been to America a couple times, and you know, it's always a great country to visit, but of course the media coverage isn't always, you know, projecting positive things.
Of course not.
Like
media
a lot
is
of
about sensationalism
with the president or with the abortion laws, and I feel like the country. My impression is that the country is pretty divided, and just into two different parties.
Yeah.
So you know, you hear a lot of things that you maybe don't think is the best way to solve some issues. But all in all, America has always been like the big brother of the North, Norway. So no, it's not all bad.
Big brother of Norway.
Been to America
Interesting.
so much. I visited her in Easter. So most of the knowledge about America comes from the media, and she said it seems to be a bit divided into two parties. That's pretty much what I know.
Yeah, you have to understand that the media makes money by getting attention, and the more extreme attention-seeking stories that you cover, headlines that you put out, things like that, you know, the more attention you get, the more money you make, and that's just the reality of the world nowadays. So it is what it is.
I think people think it's very chaotic, very polarized. I think, but you know, it's
lots of red cheeks in Norway.
Now we're probably only going to mention the negatives, right? Because that's what you get in the news. So sure, America has problems, but so does
Norway.
So does everyone.
Yeah, we all do.
I think
I like Norway so far.
I think then the news are just so negative that it's easy to forget that it's also in many ways it seems to me a great country.
Could be worse.
But I think people think about the things they see in the news, and the news just tend to focus on bad things. Unfortunately, most people see America in black and white, which is what we should try not to do, because then we're just keeping it polarized in a sense.
Wow,
we're
Norway, look at you guys go, being all diplomatic and stuff. Poland, okay, here we go. now we got some people that are like, you know what, I'm going to tell it like it is, and if you don't like it, too bad. That's my prediction, at least from what I know about my Polish friends.
What's your impression of people in my country, or just my country in general right now?
I guess very friendly and extroverted and talkative. I guess this is maybe like very polarized country when it comes to like politics, that is very conservative and like capitalistic.
How I see America and Americans right now, it's a big contrast, and I would say the country of getting more and more. Difficult for me to express this, but express that. But it looks like it could be both very engaged, very scientific, and you know, leader in many fields. And on the other side, it's also a country of coming with the most dumb ideas, and you know.
Yeah, that is a good point. You know, we have a lot of industry leaders in business. We have a lot of great scientists, you know, universities, engineers, you know, great industries. And then we also have a kind of a failing education system at the same time. So we're just the best of both worlds in that sense.
Very shallow approach to the life and so on. So a lot of contrast, and thinking about politics, such a big country, and you cannot find a single person that could be a really decent president.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way in Poland.
Point.
I mean, there's nearly 40 million of us, and we didn't have a good president either. So somehow.
Is there a correlation between wanting to go into politics at a young age and just being like a little bit of a crazy person? Like, do you have to be a little bit of a crazy person to go into politics regardless of what country you're in? Because you're just like, I want to control people. I want to rule over people. I want to tell people what is right and what is wrong. I want to tell people what to do. I feel like you almost have to be a little bit crazy just to get into politics to begin with. I don't know. Anyways.
This is a thing. I would say politically we consider right now it's more stable having Biden as a president. Of course, Trump was considered as somebody totally unpredictable.
This video was recorded 1 year ago, so I would love to follow up with this guy again and get his thoughts now.
Not really the guy of politics, and we could see these days also some reports that probably not the most ethical person.
Probably not.
And the way we see it also, that it's a country probably good for young and wealthy people, healthy people and wealthy people.
Yeah.
Because in a way, what we hear, the cost of the healthcare, for instance, seems not to be the way that developed countries should handle it. But
Smart.
On the other hand, we see it from the distance. We are not living there, so it's just an impression.
Another great observation.
For real over there.
Ooh, Hungary.
What would you say are your impressions?
Never known any Hungarians.
Of the people there, of the country.
Let's see.
I've never been, so I cannot really judge. Like when I used to live abroad, I met a lot of Americans. To be honest, I didn't have the best experiences. But that's those people, right? So.
Yeah.
I had this, and also I consume a lot of like American TV and a lot of movies,
course,
so I think in the middle of Europe we get a lot of your culture, in this kind of lens from the movies and the music, and so we actually know a lot without even being there.
Oh yes, for sure.
So
Pop culture.
I find beauty in it, but like I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, so this kind of like consumerist way that you think, or at least what I witnessed with this couple of people I met during my journeys, I didn't really like it, to be honest. Like, I didn't see humbleness in it,
Yeah.
And so that wasn't the best experience, but obviously I met some, like, you are a really nice guy,
Thank you.
Oh.
And I met an American actor who was really cool,
really?
like he was so sweet,
American
and
actor.
so kind. And
was it Tom Cruise?
So respectable, like, so I mean, I don't really think you can generalize people, you have different experiences with different people. So.
Yeah, they're like, I think there's like types of people overall. Like there's a certain culture, but then when you get down to individual level,
exactly.
People
So I don't want to say like, I'm not into it, because I don't know, and I'm sure if I would go there and experience it for myself, like for instance California, I'm sure it's beautiful, and there are so many things to do.
Can be
nice
at times
people to meet.
Exactly.
So I don't know, I mean, and you have really great artists, so that you brought out into the world. So
it's a very creative.
Exactly.
That's a lot of books. Never seen so many books.
I think you guys are kind of crazy.
Okay.
Like there's just, you're pulling in so many different directions, and each one of them is getting more and more radical, it seems like. There's no
at times,
more common ground, or at least it's shrinking.
Yes. And you think it's both sides. It's not just like one. It's not like one side or the other.
I mean, I'm all for like left-leaning stuff. Like it's fine, but you can take it to an extreme that like a semi-conservative person would not be okay with, and I don't think that's doing anyone any favors.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You can have reforms and still kind of keep with the culture, or keep with like values that other people still feel important to them.
True.
So I don't. It's very different from any other place in the world. Like, I don't...
Oh, okay.
To me, it's just... I don't know. They're just going in too many different directions.
All right. Can't argue with that.
I'm just curious what your thoughts are on America and the people of America at this state in time.
I think you American people did very well with Hollywood and all that stuff, but when you get a little bit into the US culture, you find that what you sold us in movies and on other media is not what real America is, what real US is.
Of course.
And it's true that while the time is going by, we are starting to understand that US is not the center of the world, and we don't have to strictly follow what US is saying. And
this guy thinks that the US is the center of the world. Whoa. Okay, interesting. But he's trying to see that it's not anymore.
What US people are thinking.
I was not expecting that.
Also, US is divided into ways, as you said before. And I don't know, I think the whole world is changing, and the globalization in English, it's also making people understand that you can get the best parts from all the countries. Of course, US has very good things to give to the world, but it's true also that the European people or the people from many other countries can also give a lot to the world, not only the US.
All right, dude, that was awesome. I think that as an American, it's nice to see that at least the people in this video can make a distinction between what is in the headlines of the news and what is on social media and what is going viral and what is being covered in the media and all these things and what actually is America. Because, of course, those aren't always the same things. Like, once you're actually living in America, you'll see a lot different stuff other than what you're expecting in the headlines or what you're seeing going viral on social media or what you see in Hollywood. Like, it's a very diverse country, and that is the very sensationalized version of America in all those cases, because in order to get the clicks, in order to get the attention, you have to make everything 10 times crazier than what is normal. So, it's just good to see that there are some people out there that can see those things and still think like, okay, maybe that's not the real America though, because not all people are like that. So that's nice. But as always, I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. So let me know your thoughts on the video. Leave them down in the comment section below. What do you think? What do you think of America? What do you think of Americans? Let me know. And again, if you enjoyed, consider subscribing. It helps the channel. We're trying to get to that magical 1,000 subscriber mark, so it'd be greatly appreciated. But that's all the time that I have for today. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.